All right, this is to the county commissioners. Why have the county commissioners decided to change land use code without public hearing? Candidates, do you support this move?
Well, since I'm a sitting commissioner and have been gored severely on this one, it's a totally false statement. We have not changed the land use codes in a way that prohibits public input, public hearings, or any other thing. We made two simple changes to the Title 12, one of which violated state law, violated state statute. It said that the Bonner County Planning Commission had to make a recommendation to the commissioners before we could pass an ordinance. Well, the Planning Commission does not have ordinance authority, and what that did, it gave them de facto ordinance authority. So they could never make us a recommendation on an ordinance, ergo we could never pass an ordinance. We checked this all the way up through the legal, we checked with IAC, and everybody agreed that this violated state law, so we changed it. Now that isn't banning hearings, that isn't excluding the public from anything, we're still going to have hearings. We changed 262, which was 12262, which had to do with making it easier for you out there to come and appeal a decision by planning and zoning. So if you went to planning and zoning for a conditional use permit and you were denied, you could come to us, which you always were able to do, but we could grant you a variance and it made it easier and cheaper. So we were trying to streamline the process. Nowhere in there did we say we are never going to have any more public hearings. That's totally false. And I keep hearing this and it keeps coming back like a bad penny, but it is absolutely untrue.
Well, first of all, I think that the planning and zoning is a very real issue. I think that, number one, there needs to be more public comment, or at least it needs to be more accessible to the public. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'd like to see the public hearing process be at 6 o'clock in the evening. My opponent has said, well, that would cost a lot of money. Well, we do it in the city of Priest River, and it isn't every business meeting, but if you just did those meetings and held those open to the public, all you have to do is reschedule your people and just have them at a different time of day, and you can do that for absolutely no cost. And what you're doing is you're drawing the public in. You're actually doing yourself a service by getting more ideas and different groups involved. What you do by having them at 9 o'clock in your regular business meeting is you exclude people that are working people. It's really tough to take a day off to just go in and listen to what's going to happen and something in your neighborhood. So I just believe that that's a great thing. And as far as, I think that there's an upheaval with the planning and zoning. I think that the commissioners have put them on notice that they're going to change the rules. And I think it's showing by the way that some of them are resigning. Those people are dedicated and they are volunteers. And what they do is very important.
I agree with the commissioner's move. I've been doing a lot of research on the job because if I do win election, I don't want to start the year with a stiff learning curve. So I've been hanging around the commissioner's office, going to meetings, reading through the comprehensive plan. And if you're having a hard time sleeping, feel free to pick up a copy and read through it. I think the comprehensive plan actually, when you look at it in its total, it's got a lot of issues that you can draw our higher unemployment rates directly to the comprehensive plan. You can draw lines from people like the gentleman over in Priest River who it took him 7 years and $37,000 just to split his property because of the language of the comprehensive plan. It's outside the parameters of what the state of Idaho has as far as land use goes. We've suddenly made ourselves into a special case, and then we wonder why our unemployment is so high. So I agree with the actions of the commissioners.
Well, unlike the Constitution of the United States and all of its amendments, the comprehensive plan is a living document. I did chair the board at the time we went through the process to change the comprehensive plan. There was extensive plagiarization of several comprehensive plans of counties that have like characteristics as far as types of population, types of properties, commercial, etc. And we put together, with a lot of input from the public at that time, what we thought was best. But it absolutely needs to be relooked at least every 2 or 3 years, and it hasn't happened that I know of since I left office. So if you've got problems in there, and these problems keep cropping up, there's definitely, you can change it. You have the right as the commission, the Board of Commissioners, to change it. But to tear up the advisory committee, the Planning and Zoning Commission, the way they did, I had a great amount of trust in all of our county advisory committee that we had, even the one Todd served on in Waterways, because there's no way you could possibly have the same look and the same thoughts on all the issues that could be present in all these things. I wanted to hear from somebody else, somebody who might turn me on to a whole different way of looking at things, and that's the way I approached most of those things. So I think we've really done ourselves a disservice, and planning a zone is in jeopardy right now.